Now let's get to our third crew out on the scene. Again, this is intended to coincide with military parades in Washington, D.C. and President Trump's 79th birthday. So there are also demonstrations in Lexington on South Main Street to counter all of that. Joseph, what are you seeing where you are?
Yeah, we're live in downtown Lexington where another of the No Kings protests is taking place, as you can see behind me over my shoulder. Most of the folks here are congregated outside of the Davidson County Courthouse. Also across the street, we're seeing a few dozen people who are also part of this protest. I'm going to step out of the way so our photographer Raymar Thomas can kind of show you the scene down here. So this movement is part of a national day of action. Thousands of people rallying across the country under the No Kings banner. Here in Lexington, protesters are chanting the phrase "No Kings" over and over. They're holding signs. One of them reads, "Freedom, not fascism." Another reading, "No justice without due process." Their message here is clear. They're accusing President Trump of what they call authoritarian behavior. So they're criticizing his crackdown on illegal immigration and his administration's focus on ramping up ICE deportations. They're also taking aim at his crackdown on certain student demonstrations on college campuses across the country. Now, while Davidson County in the past has voted for Trump in 3 straight elections, it's also no stranger to pushback. This community has held multiple protests during both of his terms. This just the latest of that. We also just spoke with the organizer of this event about 20 or 30 minutes ago. She says she was pleasantly surprised by the crowd out here today. She says she had about 150 or so people sign up online. Now, it's hard to tell the exact number of people who are out here. I would say at least 100 or so are standing outside of the courthouse and maybe a few dozen across the street. So we don't have an exact number, but I would say that it looks around that size. Now, people have also been driving up and down the street. As you can tell, this street is not closed off. Some people are honking, both in support, and some of those folks obviously not in support of this protest. Now, this is one of nearly 2,000 similar protests that are happening across America today. As of right now, this crowd is very peaceful. There is a small group of counter-protesters kind of on the middle, on the side street here, of Center Street, who are protesting, counter-protesting. But right now, tensions are very low in this protest. We will continue to cover this protest and all the protests around the Triad live and online. Live in Lexington, Joseph Leonard, WFMY News 2.